So I've got my other PADM mount off my Porsche, and the first one was the passenger side. The mount was easy to remove with the bracket. I replaced the sensor in no time at all, really. I learned a few lessons along the way, and now I'm doing the driver's side one, which I will say, if you're doing the job yourself at home, it is a little bit more tight. There's a gearbox cooler in the way of the mount, lots of wires, and the metal aluminium under tray had to come off. I still don't know how I'm going to get this mount back on, because with this raised aluminium piece and the wire coming off it, it's going to make it even tighter, and it was so tight getting it out the gap I had. So I may yet have to split the mount off its bracket or undo the oil cooler and move it. I really don't want to drop any water out, so I'm really hoping, with my fingers crossed at this point, that won't happen. But on to changing the sensor. So I got my sensor from Ziffen Parts. It's just a fancy name for a Chinese made sensor, and from what I can see, they're all made in China, so don't go overpaying for a name. There's the sensor I have. So first things first, I've got to undo these 4 screws. Now, I used junior hacksaw blade to scribe into them, because on the last one, trying to get a screwdriver in got a bit frustrating in the end, and I did slightly bend my screwdriver blade. But once you put a little scribe in them, they seem to be fine. You come undone okay. And as I say, you're going to throw away the cap anyway, so it really doesn't matter if you leave a slight indentation. I can only apologise if the mount rocks slightly. I don't have a vice at home, and I really couldn't be bothered this morning to go and beg, borrow or steal someone else's. Actually see how I've placed the camera. It's right in my way, but I wanted to actually show you how it gets done as best I could. So now, I will say, these are probably the hardest thing to remove. That's it, right, thank God. Using all to live on that one. So, cap comes off. Got the rubber seal, we've got that, which we're not going to use. We'll stick that all with the spare parts. Now, I don't think this mount was actually broke. My mount stopped about 2 years ago, and it was the other side when I scanned it, but I wasn't about to pay Porsche the extortionate amount of money for a new mount, hearing the horror stories of how long they actually last, which, to be quite honest with you, doesn't sound very long at all. So obviously I was thrilled when everyone came out with this fix online. Now, this is the worst bit. You really just have to dig in and do it. Now, I've watched other people and noticed that up the solders and remove it that way, which is probably a great way to do it. It may be a bit cleaner, but as we're cutting off the terminals anyway, I just really can't see the point in doing that. Now, that is the board off. You can see the sensor left inside. This one is much drier than the other one, but if we pop this little cap off here, and with the little cap off, you can see where the sensor should be sitting to read straight from that hole. I'm sure it must be buried in this grey magnetic fluid somewhere, but we really don't need to root about, so we'll put that in with the removed parts. Now, we need to get rid of these. We've got 3 of them. Now, I removed that first when I did the other one, and thinking about it, it's probably a bad idea because stuff could drop down, and it's already a bit dirty in there. I think personally it's probably best to leave that in until you get these out, if you can get the cutters on the end. So let's give that a try this time. See, it's left to the ends just like it did before. So what I found was push it one way and push it back, and it just eventually breaks off flush. And that one, you can see as it broke off. It's one down properly. 2. Now, see all them bits? For me, this is why that's still there. And as you can see, right pig to get out, just wants to sit there and annoy us. But anyway, I shall clean it in a second. Yes, this looks, probably some of you say, oh, that's quite rough, but the fact is, when the other sensor goes in, this does not seal anything. You want to put sealer on here, and literally the sensor pushes down in here, but the rubbers are what will seal it. So I've cleaned that up a little bit more, and as you can see, this is what is going in there. So I don't think we'll have any problems. It feels pretty smooth to the maneuver of a screwdriver now. Nothing stopping it. So next thing is these little knobbles. They need to come off because the aluminium sits flush. So a decent razor blade, pop them straight off. So I've took them off with a blade, just a little bit of sandpaper just to make sure. You're bound to have a slightly little lip where you prise the board off. The board come off a lot easier on this one than the one I did before, to be fair. Just about see it's there. I'll probably be worrying about nothing. But say, I think you can see why it's a good idea to keep that in. So I think I'm happy with that surface. So there it looks like there's a little knobble, but that is just it's smooth to run your finger over. So a bit of a illusion. All cleaned up now, and we're ready to pull that sensor out. One last blow for luck. Yeah. So there's the sensor. So basically, that's all the spare parts you should have up to this point. Now, I noticed again with the other one, all the fluid, what sits inside, and honestly I just left it for a minute first and some seemed to drain away. So rather than sticking a cloth straight inside, I think it's worth just leaving it a minute and seeing if anything wants to drain back down the hole. So we'll leave this a minute and I'll resume in a second once that goes down. So I've got some instant gasket, which says it's for high temperature and protection, and we'll put a bead around the top. Now, personally, I think you'd be unlucky if you actually had a leak anyway with the seal that the sensor has. Obviously, I've got a love-hate relationship with this stuff because I've stripped down cars and seen when people have put too much and when it splurges down in places you don't want it. Now, I think I always rather go a little bit lean. I'd rather see where it's going. I'll put a little bead around here which can mate up with that. The main thing is, as long as I know it's not squeezing off down the hole, I'm happy. Whichever way you want to do it is the way you should do it. It's all a matter of opinion. Now make sure you have the sensor aligned so the plug can go on to this point here. So that's it. Pretty much home. And obviously the plug can go straight on there, but first things first, we need the screws, which hopefully I didn't lose. So screws are there, and these would be a bit easier to do up than the ones we had to remove. Again, whichever way you want to do these up, your preference. I'll just tighten down a little bit at a time. So I think really for cases of this video, we're done. I will tighten them up a bit more once I remove the camera. It's a little bit awkward, I don't want to round anything, but I'm hoping this, once it's on there, will cure my problem. As for today's video, I think this is it, and I hope this is of some help and helps you along the way to changing your sensors. As I say, it's cost me 260 quid for 2 sensors from Ziffen Parts, and obviously the fitting's free when you do it yourself. I would say definitely the passenger side one is easy, and just the driver's side one is, say, been that little bit tighter, and we'll see what happens, but definitely worth doing it yourself. Definitely better than going and buying a new mount from Porsche and paying £1,500 for fitting. Yeah, so hopefully this can be a tip to anyone, and if there's any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, please like and subscribe to my other videos if you're interested, and have a nice day. Thank you.